The first time I started noticing symptoms was when I was about 15. I'm 27 now. Progressively, I just started feeling worse and worse, all the regular symptoms that come with colitis. I went to the doctor. Doctors put me on steroids, basically, to suppress the immune system, and gave me a leaflet, sent me home, you'll be fine. It didn't help, and I missed a lot of school. I was in hospital, first hospitalization came about 6 months after that. Since then, I've been hospitalized twice again since that first bout. It went in different phases. The first few years were very tough, where I felt like I suffered the most during those first few years. In terms of medicines, the doctors had me on a high dose of steroids. They had me on anti-inflammatories like Pentasa and Azicol. Both drugs of which I hated taking and had really adverse side effects. With the anti-inflammatories, I was taking such a high dose that I would have palpitations most of the day, which was one of the side effects. And with the steroids, there are multiple side effects, but for me I had aching joints, blurred vision, headaches, difficulty sleeping. In so much as it benefits you in one way, it pushes you back in other ways too. And then the other medication that I was on was something called 5-mercaptopurine, which was and they give it to you in very mild doses, but they classify it as a chemo drug. So it's supposed to suppress your immune system enough that your body no longer attacks the cause of the inflammation. And it required every 6 weeks I'd have to have a blood test to test liver function, because damaging your liver was a side effect. And just psychologically, putting these things in your body that made one thing better but made other things worse was just not okay with me. And then in terms of other therapies, I've done lots of things, from acupuncture to osteopathy to, a whole range of products. I lived in New York from late '07 until midway through 2010. And after a year of living in New York, I got really sick, as sick as I was the first time I was in hospital. I spent just over a week at a hospital in Manhattan. It took me 6 weeks to recover. I missed a whole load of work, and I swore to myself, never again, and that's when I came across Galina. And since then, it's been a real life changer and a real comfort. And just the kind of knowledge that I have now is so much more advanced to what I had before I started the program. I still need reminding sometimes, and I still need somebody to get on my case, because it's very easy when you're feeling good to kind of let it slip. So the first thing to know is that it's a commitment. And as long as you're committed to feeling better, then you should see it through. But apart from that, the thing that I like about it is that it's realistic to me. It didn't take long at all for my body to respond. I felt like I had more energy. From the pain perspective, I went from having, some pretty severe pain when I felt sick, to living my life as if I didn't have ulcerative colitis. On the pain scale, it went from pretty bad to nothing, But the energy levels went from, having to push myself to get things done, like push myself because I didn't have the energy but I wanted to do it anyway, to actually having the energy there to do whatever I wanted to do on a daily basis. And I noticed even that my concentration at work got better. I was far more focused because I think, I was obviously healthier, but I also didn't have the same type of worries that I had before with, God, what if I, overexert myself today? Am I going to be sick tomorrow? It's not that you can eliminate that worry, but you have more confidence that tomorrow's going to be fine. In terms of maintenance, I think about, in early 2010, I felt a little bit unwell again. And I approached Galina to say, I feel like something's about to happen. I don't want it to get worse. I don't want to go down the medication avenue again. Please help me. And she put me on a very specific program for about 3 to 4 days, which involved enemas, which involved taking the gut stabilizer product, which involved the medicinal clay. And it was almost miraculous that I followed it for a few days. I took a day or two off work. I made sure I got absolute rest. And my body responded magnificently in a way that I didn't think it could, because I was so ingrained in me to just kind of, you feel sick, take medication, So, yeah, and shortly after that, I was kind of back into my life again. I was told, as soon as I was diagnosed, that I would probably have to have surgery in the next 2 years, because it's just the nature of the condition. And that at the very least, I'd have to be on something like 6-mercaptopurine for the rest of my life to maintain it. And that was 10 years ago almost. You don't have to go down the surgery route, or you don't have to be on steroids for the rest of your life. And I think I'm living proof of that. For me, the program is genius, and it's really changed my life, literally, yeah.